everyone, we have an important topic to discuss about because it is said that there is a news of polar bears could go extinct by 2100. Okay, so in this topic of discussion we will be dealing about why it was the news, then the current status of polar bear, then the reason for the possible extinction and also the impact. Then we will also deal with some other topic which is very important regarding this or in concern with this polar bear topic, like uh, greenhouse gas effect or global warming and also Paris climate change. Okay, so all these topics are also very important for films because this topic is already there in the news. Okay, so if we are looking in the news, in the new study suggested that the polar bears could face extinction as climate change drives sea ice loss. Okay, so this was there in the news according to the study published on by Nature Climate Change. This study was there in July 2020 issue of this Nature Climate Change. Okay, so this was a topic of discussion at present because this Nature Climate Change has suggested or they have published such a study result. Okay, and if you are looking at the current status of polar bear, approximately there are 2500 polar bears left at present, and this is only approximate number. Okay, and it is said that climate change is starving them into extinction, and at present there are two polar bear population. One is in the coast of northeastern Alaska and another one is in the Canada's Hudson Bay. So you have to note these two points in the map because at any point of time for the prelims you may get a questions for mapping these 2 points in the map. Okay, so you should be clear where these two places are located, like Alaska as well as the Hudson Bay. Okay, so it is said that these two polar bear population sites is already been impacted by the melting of ice in the sea. Okay, so if you are looking at the reason for the possible extinction, we can say that there is a rise in global temperature and that is causing loss of ice. So if we are looking at the mechanism of polar bear, we can see that during the warm temperature, means during the summer season, it will be having a kind of hibernation, and during the winter season they will be coming out because polar bears are more uh, acclimatized to this winter temperature. Okay, so they will be more happy with the winter temperature and they will be um, searching for the for food and water during this winter season, and instead during the summer season they will be going for a hibernation. Okay, so what they are doing in the summer season is that they will be fasting, means they have a capacity to have or to do a long time fasting. Okay, so now what they are doing is they will be fasting during the summer season, and during the winter season they will be going for hunting for or in search of food. Okay, that is what is the normal activity of a polar bear. But at the present, due to this global warming, what happens is this summer season has extended. So this is forcing this polar bear to extend its starvation or fasting period also. Or this starvation has caused the bad health of this polar bear because during all this starvation period they need the nutrients, and these nutrients are very important for the maintenance of temperature or making them warm during this period. Okay, so this the climate of area where the polar bear is living is very cool climate, so they need to have a balanced temperature, or they need to maintain a temperature to live in that area. So they are maintaining this temperature just because of the nutrients that they are having already in the body. So when they are lacking nutrients due to this longer starvation, due to this extended period of summer season, what actually happens is that uh, they will not be able to maintain that temperature. Ultimately what happens is that they may lose their life. And also this is one point, that is due to this longer time of starvation they will be losing their nutrients and they will be unable to maintain their temperature, and ultimately it can cause their death. That is one point. And another point is that due to this longer time of fasting, the mothers or the polar bears which are giving milk to its babies or which are taking care of its babies also will be having lack of this health. I mean, the mother polar bear will not be able to give proper milk or nutrient to its babies. So ultimately what happens is there will be improper or there will be babies which is having an improper health. So that is also again causing a reduction in their in the survival rate of the babies also. Again that is another step of extinction. Okay, you can understand that a lack of nutrients for the mother will in turn affect the babies. So that will also cause uh, a step or another step for the extinction of polar bears. This is the second point. And another point is that this longer fasting time period due to this extension of summer season is also causing low reproductive capacity of this polar bear. Okay, so this is also again a point supporting for the extinction. Okay, so what they're saying is that uh, due to this extended period of summer season and due to this extended period of fasting, what happens is that they will be the body of polar bears will get weaker, and ultimately it can lead to the death of polar bear one. And the second point is that it may lead to the low reproduction rate among the polar bear, and third point is that it will lead to the poor babies which will not be able to survive in this winter season. That is also causing the extinction of polar bears. Okay, so it is said that a polar bear requires about 12,000 calories daily to maintain the body heat in an icy area. So what happens is that in this kind of warm climate they will not be able to have or get this 12,000 calories of uh, daily. Okay, so this is happening because normally what happens is that a polar bear will be having some kind of food which is providing the enough calories to the polar bear, but at this point of time due to this change in climate all this kind of food is lacking in that area. So what this polar bear are forced to do is uh, they are forced to eat whatever that is getting in that area, like they will be eating birds and birds eggs. So these kind of new type of food is not that much sufficient for meeting their requirement of these calories. Okay, so again that is causing a weak body for the polar bear. So this temperature is also already a problem for this polar bear, and also the changing availability of food is also making them weak. So these are the reason for the uh, possibility of extinction in case of polar bear. Okay, so the impact will be that the polar bears are likely to experience a reproductive failure by 2040, and also reducing the number of offsprings needed for the population maintenance. So these are the possible impact of this change in the climate. Okay, and if we are looking at the exam point of view, one important point is that the IUCN status of this polar bear is vulnerable. So you have to note that point. This is a vulnerable in IUCN status because as this is there in the news, sometime they can ask or they can give some kind of statement in which this is there in that statement. Okay, like what is the status or IUCN status of polar bear is like this, like that. Okay, then as this topic is related to the climate change, we have to look into the Paris climate change and also global warming and the greenhouse effect. In the greenhouse effect, you'll be knowing the thing, but I will just go through that thing because uh, just we have to refresh all those things even though we have already studied all those things. Okay, sometimes they can ask this topic also. Greenhouse effect is simply, we can say that for maintaining the temperature of our earth, there are some gases present in our atmosphere which is uh, retaining the temperature or maintaining the temperature of our earth. So in that uh, number of gases, carbon dioxide is one of the gases, for example. So what the carbon dioxide is doing is, carbon dioxide will be keeping our earth warm by holding this temperature within the surface of the earth itself. So what happens is when carbon dioxide availability or amount of carbon dioxide is increasing in around the earth, this will be capturing more temperature towards the earth. So ultimately it will make the earth warm. So as this amount of carbon dioxide is increasing, the temperature of earth is also increases. So that is what is the greenhouse effect is. These gases which is causing or maintaining the temperature of earth is known as greenhouse gases. The example is carbon dioxide. There are other gases also, and you have to note that which are all the gases is known as greenhouse gases. For that you have to do some homework. Okay, and these uh, phenomena is known as greenhouse effect, as it is causing high temperature for the earth. Okay, so that is what is the greenhouse effect is. Then let us see something about the climate change agreement, because it was there recently there in the news for some other reason, because recently, even though this has been signed by about 195 countries, recently US president has said that they will be withdrawing from this agreement. Okay, so because of that news also, this is an important topic for the exam. So let us see the topic. Okay, climate change, Paris climate change agreement is a multilateral agreement signed on 22nd April 2016. So this is within the UNFCCC framework. Okay, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And the main aim of this agreement is to reduce, mitigate greenhouse gas emission. I told you that carbon dioxide is one of the examples of greenhouse gas. Okay, so the main aim of this agreement is that reduce and mitigate the greenhouse gas emissions, so that they will be able to reduce the temperature. And in broad sense, we can say that the rise of global temperature will be curtailed this century below 2 degrees Celsius. That is the broad aim of this thing, and above pre-industrial level. And also they will be trying to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The main aim is to curtail below 2 degrees Celsius, but they will be trying to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so you have to remember all these points, because all these points are very important for our exam point of view. So that's all. Thank you.